out there?
Yeah, we sprinkled it in. I mean, when we Already Gone was the first song we released online, and we were giving out like download cards of that on tour. So we started playing that a little bit because the fans started knowing it, and then once "Sick" is the first single. Once that got released, people started knowing it. So we started playing that a little bit, and those are really the only two songs we played.
We played Mona Lisa maybe two
once,
or three times.
Once in France.
A lot of sound checks.
Yeah, we played at Soundcheck a lot, but we played in Lyon, France. We played Mona Lisa once. That was it.
Yeah, pretty
So
much.
this tour will be the first time that we're gonna do like a big, probably five or six songs from the new record, which is a big majority of the record because it's only 10 songs. I mean, it's a really delicate kind of process working in new songs, and that we're also very careful about it because I mean the record will have been out for over 2 months before we start playing songs from it. You know what I mean? Like we didn't want to start playing a bunch of new songs before anybody knew them because that's always a drag for people at shows. So we're giving them over 2 months to kind of get the record and learn it and be stoked on it. Hopefully, I mean, but I think the response that we've been getting, for the most part, there aren't really a lot of fans that don't like it because it's different. I mean, I think there's people where it may not be their favorite Bayside record, but they're still like accepting of it, and they're pretty stoked.
Yeah, it's been pretty well. Actually, it's good too that we have been playing a couple of the songs. So if we're going to be playing 4 or 5 or 6 new songs on the upcoming tour, at least they'll be familiar with seeing us live playing a couple of them already. So it's not a total shock. Working 3 or 2 different songs into the set is a lot easier than just all of a sudden trying to chunk in 5 or 6 songs out of nowhere.
Absolutely. I mean, the record's been recorded for about 9 months.
Yeah, we had it
9 months ago.
August.
We finished recording it, and to this day, I listen to it, and there's nothing I would do differently. There's no tone, there's no song, there's no part, there's no lyric that I would do differently. I mean, like we were saying, we spent an entire year writing and recording this record, and that's what we've always wanted to do. We've always wanted to try to make the perfect Bayside record. And I think we did. I think it has everything on it. I think we've spent years making all these records, developing our sound, and we never tried to reinvent our sound, just kind of get better at it. And I think this has everything that Bayside is supposed to be. It has the catchy melodies, and it has the aggression, and it has the technicalities, and it has there's kind of a little of everything on it.
That Jawbreaker one, the first one you did?
Yeah, we did the Jawbreaker tribute, like, probably, it was before we were on Victory. It was like
2002?
8 years ago, 8 or 9 years ago we did that. That was really cool. I really wanted to be on the Smoking Popes tribute, but that was also like 8 or 9 years ago, and we weren't really in a position to like be invited to be on it quite yet. Most recently, I just did a song for the Nirvana tribute, 2 months ago or something, 2-3 months ago. I recorded. I did like a piano version of About a Girl, for that. Compilations seem like unfortunately they seem like they're kind of losing their importance a little bit. Like I remember growing up, and that's how I found out about probably 80% of all the bands that I was into. In junior high school and high school. And I always wanted to be on all of them, the Fat Records compilations and all the Epitaph had the Punkorama compilations and stuff, and those were so important to me. I hope that they'll come back around, but with the internet, all music is a compilation at this point. I know, and it's unfortunate because that's really how I found out about bands. You know what I mean? And to think that kids won't find out about bands like that anymore. And even kind of I think like Drive Through had like some pretty good comps too, and that was probably one of the last of all that, Well, Victory even too. The Victory samplers were like super popular, Even like going back to before we were even on the label, I remember bands like Grade and Taking Back Sunday and stuff. All those Victory comps are always really popular.
I don't know. I kind of grew up listening to a lot of metal and hardcore up until I got into my 20s. Then I started listening to a ton of Frank Zappa and stuff, and a lot of fusion jazz, and still, kind of a rock fan. And so coming in, the band that I'd been playing in, kind of a local band in Boston, that was kind of a progressive technical band, and I got brought in through a friend of mine who played drums on Sirens and Condolences, Jim Mitchell, And coming into this was like kind of just a total different approach for me, being more trying to really focus rather than being kind of all over the place and trying to do as much all the time as possible, kind of really trying to focus my guitar playing. So actually this band has been a big influence on me as well. Just being in Bayside has been a big influence on me in terms of really honing what it is that I do.
So I'm your biggest influence?
I wouldn't say biggest. No, but just, I mean, yeah, but working in this band for the last 8 years of my life has really kind of shaped who I am as a guitar player a lot as well. So I think, I mean, I don't know if that's cheating to call this band an influence for me, but it definitely has been.
I mean, for me, I like, you know, the influences range anywhere from, I'm really into show tunes, and I'm really into punk rock, and I'm really into rock and roll, and I'm really into pop music, songwriting, like different kind of songwriters. But I would say, like, guys like Morrissey, you know, had a pretty big impact on me. Mainly, for one, because I love the music so much, but there aren't a lot of, like, positive influences, you know what I mean? And Morrissey was kind of, like, teaching people manners and to like, not eat meat and to, like, be aware of the world, you know? And, like, how many rock stars were doing that, you know what I mean? At this point, like, I guess there's more of it, but it's probably all fake, you know? I mean, Morrissey in the 80s, like, you have Motley Crue, like, running amok, setting the world on fire, you know what I mean? And then even in his own world, you had Joy Division and New Order, all bands like that, like, kind of, that were fueling this whole drug scene, you know what I mean? And then there's Morrissey, like, telling you to wash your hands before you eat, you know?